you know. One hand, and it's dark. Just showing y'all a little bit of skills I got. You know, I'll stay ready. But nevertheless, man, great performance by, to just sum it up, it was a great performance. Um, he did his thing. But at the same time, did anybody think Lomachenko was going to lose to George Kambosos Jr.? George Kambosos is tailor-made for Lomachenko, a guy that comes forward, um, stays on the line, isn't very good at making adjustments. So, of course, Lomo was going to look sensational against a guy like that. But Lomachenko did get exposed as far as not being taken by very well. Somebody who is very skillful like Shakur Stevenson or somebody that hits hard as hell like Tank could possibly exploit that and Lomachenko. Now Tank tweeted that Lomachenko is after Frank Martin. I thought Shakur Stevenson was after, and this is why Shakur Stevenson shouldn't pay Tank no mind. Tank is all over the place. Ryan Garcia is all over the place. So at the end of the day, I'll believe it when I see it. Next, Tank will be talking about he's about to fight Floyd Mayweather. But as I said before, it was a great performance by Lomachenko. Lomachenko, at the end of the day, he knows what's on the line. He's 36 years old. Lomachenko looked like he got a couple of good performances in him. Being out of the ring and this further makes me believe that Devin Haney won that fight. So this is what I'm saying by the triangle theory doesn't work as far as boxing goes, because Kambosos beat Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez dominated Lomachenko pretty much the first 7 to 8 rounds of the fight. Lomachenko had a late rally, but Teofimo closed very strong and looked like he was on the verge of stopping Lomachenko. And then Devin Haney dominates Kambosos. So that's the thing. All these dudes gotta eventually fight each other, but Devin Haney is in a different weight class. So is Teofimo Lopez. But Tank is in between 135 and 140. Lomachenko says he's not going no further than 135. So Lomachenko is highly unlikely he would move up five additional. Bosses is, but now they talking about a fight with possibly in San Diego. I'll be covering that fight. Looking forward to going back to San Diego. But as I said before, Lomachenko, one thing about Lomachenko, he does have a great ring IQ. If you don't have a good ring IQ, in all likelihood, Lomachenko is going to frustrate you and he's going to pick you apart for the most part. Now, what I did see in Kambosos is that he basically kind of further opened up or made you think about a blueprint and how you could have some success. Those body shots clearly was bothering Lomachenko that Kambosos would land. And at times, Kambosos had success when he punched with Lomachenko. But the problem is he didn't know how to reset. And that's the problem where Lomachenko can reset, jump out, shift like I told you he's very good at doing. I've said this several times about Lomachenko. When Lomachenko shifts, I will go another direction and make him come back in. Because you stand there with Lomachenko shifts, you can walk in. And this time I seen something in Lomachenko that I hadn't saw in a while, which I told Lomachenko. So by the way, George Kambosos, you might have to blame me for getting beat down, because if you don't remember that interview at the post-fight, which Lomachenko admitted it was a great question. When I told Lomachenko that you should have got started early. So Lomachenko, you should give me a shout out, man, because you know, I I helped you win this fight. So you owe me an interview. If not, your manager. Go back and look at that post-fight interview with Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. It's on my channel. You're gonna have to scroll down a little bit. But I asked Lomachenko if he felt if he had got started a little bit early in the Devin Haney fight, he could have possibly won that fight. And he admitted that he took too long to get going. This time he got going from beginning to end. No taking 4 to 5 rounds out. He got on Kambosos right away. But then again, at the same time, he knew that he was a far better fighter, boxer, puncher, everything than Kambosos. So he didn't need very long to figure out what this guy was going to do. He already knew. He looked at the footage, and Lomachenko got started right away. So Lomachenko, you know what? You do need to give me a shout out, man. Because you listen to me. Y'all got to understand, these fighters, they go back and watch these videos, and they have people that watch these videos. So shout out Lomachenko, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to listening to me. And at the same time, I still ain't forgot what you did. What happened with Adonis Stevenson. I'm moving on from it, but I ain't forgot what you did. Wasn't a good look. But at least Alexander Boslet, he apologized to Adonis Stevenson. So, you know, I could move on. One thing about Lomachenko, that is absolutely, Brandon, that is absolutely correct. Now, this is something that Tank can do with Lomachenko. Tank does have brute strength. He can make it rough for Lomachenko. He can push him back. Lomachenko doesn't fight good going backwards. But Kambosos doesn't have the IQ. Tiafimo, that's what he did. Because in all likelihood, if you sit up there in the middle of the ring, in all likelihood, you might walk into something with Lomachenko, or he might start picking you apart. One thing about Lomachenko, you got to take some risks, get on the inside and pound his body. Push him backwards. When you pin Lomachenko against the rope, you could have a lot of success. Lomachenko does his best work when he's coming forward. When he keeps you in the middle of the ring, when he has enough room to shift and use his angles. And he's a southpaw. So, you know, sometimes with southpaws, it's difficult to see certain punches coming, especially if you orthodox. But at the end of the day, Lomachenko got the job done. So what's next? Now what? At the end of the day, y'all, it ain't no excuses now why Tank versus Lomachenko can't get made later on down the road. It can get made this year. I think this is going to be one of these fights that Your Excellency is going to have to get involved in. If he offered Tank $30 million to fight Lomachenko and Lomachenko gets 15, I don't see no reason why this fight shouldn't happen. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear nothing about the other side of the street and all that kind of stuff. Fights can be made now. We don't want to hear that no more. We're not going for that no more. And Tank, you got to keep it 100. It's been a lot of hesitation for Tank not to get in the ring. It's been hesitation. It's been excuses. Maybe he feel Lomachenko at 36 is ripe for the picking. Maybe he feel like it's the time now. But I see some things that Tank could exploit. But then I do feel that Lomachenko, he could have some success against Tank. But I just think what's going to happen, I think eventually Tank is going to wear Lomachenko down in the later rounds with body shots. And I just think that Tank will eventually wear Lomachenko down. I think he could be just like I think he'd be like Leo Santa Cruz fight, where Lomachenko had success in the first 4 rounds, but then I just think Tank started breaking Lomachenko down with hard body shots. And then I think Tank, one thing about Tank, he can come forward. This may be the fight where we actually could see Tank box a little bit more, but I do think that Tank, in all likelihood, I just think he'll catch Lomachenko eventually. Keep in mind, Tank is a southpaw. Oh, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I'm very interested. I think all of y'all that's on this stream is very interested in the Tank versus Lomachenko fight. It's time. It's time. We don't want it now that Floyd is out of the way, now that he isn't Tank's promoter anymore, and Al Heyman is starting to step aside and let nature take its course. Like I said, it's no excuses why these fights can't happen anymore. We don't want to hear he with this network, he with this promoter. All that shit is out the door now. We can get fights now. Tank versus Lomachenko would be a great fight. And Bob Arum, he should jump at the chance to do a cross promotional fight. Because I think at the end of the day, I think Lomachenko know that his day is coming, but I think he fought good enough to get one or two solid or get one more fight that could be his retirement fight, and I think Lomachenko will get up out of here. I think Tank could be his retirement fight. Do you think Lomachenko cares at this point at age 36 if he fight Tank and he get knocked out? As long as Lomachenko bags 10, 15 million and it'll be a pay-per-view fight, Tank versus Lomachenko, just based off pure curiosity. And I think they could put a good marketing machine behind this. Of course, this fight is in Las Vegas. Tank versus Lomachenko, of course, could do possibly, or it could be at Madison Square Garden. Tank versus Lomachenko does 1 million pay-per-views. I just want to see the best fights being made. And then at the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson, depending on what happens with him, I think Shakur Stevenson will be successful. What I think should happen is, like I said, I'm not telling Shakur what to do with his career. Shakur Stevenson decides to remain with Top Rank. Shakur Stevenson could then fight Norvate. And that'll be a hell of a fight. Tank fights Lomachenko, unification. Shakur Stevenson, he fights Norvate, unification. And then the winner, sometime in early 2025, they lock horns for all the marbles. That makes all the sense in the world. Because like I said before, we're not going for this stuff. We're not going for people dictating and all this stuff about, hey, you got to come sign with the PBC. Nobody don't want to hear that Death Row record shit. Nobody don't want to hear that no more, man. We don't want to hear that no more because that's what we heard for years as the excuse why Crawford versus Spence didn't get made. Now we want fights. Fans don't want to hear that no more. Media don't want to hear that no more. And the promoter shouldn't want to hear it no more. So let's get this fight going. I like the idea of Tank versus Lomachenko. It'll be a good fight. I'd go to that fight. Now, depending on who handles the media, I would go to that fight, credential or not, because the PBC don't like me. No, I am. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we having a little bit of church today. Don't listen to you guys. Don't listen to none of these cornball. You know what I'm saying? Hype job or propaganda driven, fake Flavor Flav boxing channels that sit up here that talk about why these fights can't happen. Oh, it's because no. We're not hearing this. We're not hearing this crap anymore. We are beyond this stuff about the other side of the street, the last house on the left. You know what I'm saying? Friday the 13th, 227. We don't want to hear none of that stuff. Make these fucking fights. Give the fans what they want. And besides, Tank didn't give Shakur Stevenson no specific order and when he would fight him. So why would I got to keep it 100? it would be foolish of Shakur Stevenson to sit up here when he can get fights guaranteed or at least get fight dates to sit up there and be sitting up waiting on when Tank is ready to fight him or if he wants to fight him, and then basically he's stuck in limbo wondering can he take don't no Shakur, do not let Tank dictate your future. Now Tank is talking about you just go to his X account. And I'll put it up on my Instagram. Tank said that Lomachenko was next. After saying a couple of days ago that Shakur was next, or he might be somewhere down the line. So this should be a telltale sign to Shakur. Hopefully I'll see Shakur pretty soon. Hopefully Shakur comes to San Diego, because I'm definitely going to pull Shakur to the side. I'm getting an exclusive with him, and that's just the bottom line. Anybody that I'm gonna just tell all you media people right now, if I ask for an exclusive with Shakur, it's an exclusive. Anybody try to interrupt my interview, you go get checked. It's gonna be ugly. Well, you know how this works with Tank. You know how Tank probably feel like, hey, he's right for the picking. You heard what Floyd said. As far as certain fights go, we're not gonna make another promotional company great. What the fuck does that mean, dude? What does that mean? Like, no, come on, man. Is this about you or is this about? That's what I'm saying about Floyd. He make everything about him. It isn't about your issue with Bob Arum. Now I have to say this is just real talk, you guys. Y'all know I'm as solid as they come. Y'all already know I'm one of the realest media dudes out there. I've made several videos calling the PBC out for basically, not credentialing me for fights, but everybody else credentials me for fights. I got into the Golden Boy fight with no problem. And actually, I had all access for Jose Ramirez fight except locker room access. I had the second best media credentials out of everybody that was there. Well, the only one who had all access was Ellie Setback, but I had pretty much all access except locker room. And that's with Golden Boy. I don't have no problem getting into top rank fights. Don't have no problem getting in match room fights. But the people that always play games with me is the motherfucking PBC. So when y'all want to try to play that power to the people, pro-black stuff, ask yourself this question. Why ain't the PBC letting me in? So I don't even want to dwell on that because I done talked about this several times. But like I said before, if Tank is serious after Frank Martin, I want to see if he gonna make a serious negotiation. If I can get it, I'm gonna have to tell you guys I won't be at Tank. In all likelihood, I won't be at Tank versus Frank Martin because I'm gonna stay home in Oakland because they having the big three in Oakland, at the arena formerly known as Oracle, where the former home of the Golden State Warriors. So I'm gonna be covering the big three. I already put in for my credentials. I done covered at least 2 or 3 big three events. I'm good with them. They know who I am, so I'm gonna be covering the big three. So I'll see can I send Miggs out there. I won't be covering that fight. I'll watch it, but I won't be covering it. And stick around. You who knows? You might see some special appearances at the big three. But nevertheless, I want to see if Tank, in all likelihood, look, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I just don't think Tank, like they want us to believe. I just believe that saying like how everybody is an actual fight, and I think he'll stop Frank Martin, or I think it'll be a beatdown probably after the 4th. I just think Tank will, I just think Tank will put it together, and I just think he'll start breaking Frank Martin down. But in all likelihood, Tank will stop Frank Martin probably around the in between, I'll say the 6th and the 9th round. I don't even think this fight is gonna go 10 rounds. I'll be surprised if the fight goes past 10 rounds. I just think that Tank is going to have too much for Frank Martin. Listen, and this is where things get sketchy with Tank when you analyze and Tank, when you really trying to see where Tank is as a fighter. Because I'm going to be honest with you. His best fight, his biggest fight is with Ryan Garcia. And at the end of the day, I know Ryan Garcia got people capping for him. But keep in mind, Tank did handicap the shit out of Ryan Garcia. And then the thing is, Devin Haney didn't, which he should have. And then at the end of the day, Ryan Garcia didn't respect the contract. He didn't honor anything. He didn't have no respect towards the fight. He didn't have no respect towards the fans. He did everything in his power to sabotage the fight. Then he took supplements, put shit in his system that he knew he wasn't supposed to have. Like I said, I know more than what I'm saying. So I'll talk about that later. But anyway, with that being said, Tank versus Lomachenko, bring it. I'm out.